MLF reporter Aly Akers, and I am sitting here with one of our new Major League Fishing Select anglers, Wesley Strader. How excited are you to be here right now?
I'm pretty pumped. I've been looking forward to this opportunity for a long time.
So when you got the call, what were you doing, or were you shocked?
Actually, I was at ICAST, and I seen the number pop up. Don Rux had called, and I'm like, what's Don calling me in the middle of ICAST? And you know, I got to call him right back, and he offered me this opportunity, and I jumped all over it.
Are you nervous at all?
A little bit, but anytime you do something new that you're not used to doing, like as far as in the fishing industry, it's a little. I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I just don't know how it's all going to unfold. I've competed in a not quite the same thing, but another deal, and it kind of took a little like the first time I done it. Took a little getting used to. So I hope it's not like that for me this time.
And you've been fishing the FLW Tour since 1997, and you've had a really great career. But Major League Fishing is a lot different. How do you think you're going to do in this format?
You know, I don't want to jinx myself, but I think I'll do okay because I'm one of those guys that just fishes by the seat of his pants. I don't really have any preconceived notions of where I'm going. I'll do okay.
What about the Score Tracker Live? Is that going to be different knowing that these other guys might be catching them and you have to change your strategy because you might not be catching them, or what's it like?
Well, unless it's somebody like, you know, I watch it and they say, well, I kind of know what that guy he's known for doing, or his technique, or what he likes to do is fishing wise, but I don't really, you know, unless it's somebody that I've fished with, or I don't think it'll play into my advantage or disadvantages, because I just know what I'll do, so I can't guess what they're doing, so I'm just going to go with what I know to do.
What do you think the hardest thing will be about transitioning into this format?
It's just the, you know, all fish count, you know, instead of just your 5 largest fish. You know, that's going to be one of those things where, you know, we're so geared in tournament fishing is catching the 5 biggest fish each day. It's going to be just catching, you know, in this game, numbers usually end up counting more than just the bigger fish. I mean, it's good to catch big fish, but you got to be able to just catch 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. So that's what I've picked up from, you know, watching all the episodes that I've seen.
When did you start fishing? As a kid?
2 or 3 years old. It was really, really young.
When did you finally realize, like, hey, I can make a career out of being a professional angler?
You know, I guess we never really know that, but it's, I guess when I took that step to do it full time, you know, I was, you know, fishing some the BFLs and other things like that, and I got to where I was cashing a check every time, and I'd finish up high on the points. You know, it's the Angler of the Year standings, and I thought, you know, I'm just gonna. There was no co-angler when I started, so I just jumped to the front of the boat, and fortunately I had a father and a family that supported me, and we fished some circuits that allowed us to fish like it was pro. I wouldn't say it was pro on pro. Mm-hmm. So you got half the day, the other got half the day, and I was fortunate enough that my father traveled around with me, let me use the boat. He went as a no-boater, as you would say, and I got to fish with a lot of different guys like Jimmy Nolan, Peter T. Just a lot of the pros fished that circuit, and I learned a lot from that, and that made me realize that that's what I wanted to do.
Speaking of your family, I read on your website that you guys all grew up fishing out of the boat, and I think you guys had your own boat. But one of the things I found funny on the website was that you and your brothers or your siblings weren't able to go out on the boat unless your mom went with you.
Yeah, that's, you know, Mom, we had I think it was a 14-foot John boat. We had a motor on it, but we weren't allowed to use the motor. Well, we got that later, but you know, when we started out, me and my brother weren't allowed to be on the boat by ourselves. Mm-hmm. And no matter if it was the middle of summer or winter or whatever, Mom was always out there. She knew that we loved fishing, so she'd go out there and spend hours and hours of miserable days out there in the heat or the cold, just so that me and my brother could go fishing. And that's, you know, the area that I grew up in, that's really all you had to do was hunt, fish, and all that. But
and now you're a pro angler. You've done so well on the FLW tour, and now you're with Major League Fishing. How appreciative are you to Mom sitting out there probably countless hours watching you guys fish?
More than she'd ever know. I mean,
do you think she could probably be a pro angler too?
No, because she gets cold very easily. Okay. So it could be the middle of summer. She wouldn't go. She just done it for us boys. That's you know, that's what a good mother does. She does whatever whatever she has to do for her kids to be happy and successful.
What a great mom.
Oh, the best.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Come from my father. You know, I was working as a lineman for TVA, and I about had a near fatal accident, and you know, I was in that transition of where I wanted to fish full time, but yet I didn't know if I could fish full time. And I went in after I had the accident, and he told me, he said, I'm gonna give you one piece of advice. He said, life's too short to be unhappy. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's better to go and try and do something and to say you tried it and you didn't make it as to look back 30 years from now or 20 years from now and say, you know, I wished I would have done that. And
oh, that's such wonderful advice. One last question though. What can the Major League Fishing fans expect from you out on the water this year?
if you think James Watson's a handful, you ain't seen nothing yet. I like having fun, that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that you and James are in the same group, because I think that's gonna make an excellent show to air
I
on
sure
TV.
hope so, because I got big plans for James. I got big plans for him.
James, you hear it from Wesley, he's coming for you. But thank you, Wesley, for this interview. And for more information about Major League Fishing, go to majorleaguefishing.com.